Buffalo Bills punter Matt Araiza was released from the team this past weekend after a sexual assault investigation against him was made public. He has not yet been charged, but is accused of raping a 17-year-old girl last year while he attended San Diego State University. Last night, his parents said there has been a war waged on their son. Quote, he has been tried and convicted in the media based on information released solely from the alleged victim and her attorney, much of it through social media. People have taken his information as factual when it is not. Joining me now, Judy Kurtz, reporter for The Hill. And before we begin, Judy, I just want to be clear. We are in no way taking sides or presuming the accuser is not telling the truth. This is just a discussion about the NFL and the media's responsibility in trying cases before they ever go to court. So, Judy.
Absolutely.
So CBS spoke with the accuser, giving her a chance to share her story. But listen how they ended the segment.
He then took me inside and led me to a bedroom. I was pushed down, face down onto the bed, and I started going in and out of consciousness.
Consensual sex doesn't sound like I was in my bed, laying down, face down, with my head smashed into a mattress, just waiting for it to be over, that you wrote in your diary the day after. That does not sound like consensual sex to me.
So, Judy, are they doing exactly what the family claims here?
Well, look, Chris, the media are always an easy target, an easy punching bag. But I have to say in this instance, the media are doing their job, and they're reporting on horrific allegations by this young woman. And there's a story here in that the Bills cut Araiza from the team. So they're reporting these accusations, and I think they're pointing out, in at least the coverage I've seen, that he has not been charged with any crime at this point.
So here's what the Buffalo Bills coach had to say about releasing Araiza.
Haven't slept a lot, to be honest with you, because this is a game, but there's other things that are more important than this. It's just, a matter of trying to find the truth at the end of the day, right? That's the goal, is find the truth and do the right thing.
Judy, what is the Bills' liability here? I mean, these allegations were not new. They should have been known before they drafted them. Should they be making decisions before this is tried in court?
The Bills look awful here. I think there's no other way to cut it. They reportedly knew about these accusations at least a month before they were made public. They still hired this guy and only cut him loose once it became a huge and very public embarrassment. So I think there's no question that the Bills completely fumbled these accusations and how they handled this case.
So, Araiza's lawyer hasn't been sympathetic at all and even accused the accuser, who wants to remain anonymous, of performing a shakedown on his client due to his status as an NFL punter. Obviously, that kind of behavior goes on a lot. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, look, his lawyer has a job to do, and that's to defend his client. And we don't know all the facts of the case. That is true. And we have to wait to see what the details and more allegations are. I do think that the media has pointed out throughout their coverage that Araiza has not been charged with a crime. And I think that's an important note for this story. But we'll have to see what else comes of it.
So, all players don't get treated the same. I mean, Deshawn Watson, he's still part of the league. He got one of the biggest contracts in NFL history. Trevor Bauer, this guy's a punter. He was known as the punt god, but he was a rookie. Is there some sort of disconnect between superstars and somebody who's not quite the same level on their team?
Certainly. I mean, Deshawn Watson is a great player and did not receive the same treatment, although it is a bit apples and oranges in terms of the details of those cases and comparing it to what's going on here with Araiza. But there's no question that there is not really a playbook for the NFL when it comes to handling sexual misconduct and domestic violence charges. And I don't think many critics would disagree with the fact that they have not always handled these allegations well.
Yeah, you would think by now they'd have a playbook of some sort, because they seem to be getting these often, obviously. Judy Kurtz, always good to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.